It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talk Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on the two-bird screen. I like to give my unique perspective because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a new perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to get entertained about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Mexico. Got some plays over in Mexico this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo ba, and Viva Mexico. Appreciate you guys listening. You know what? I heard you guys are now the number one trading partner of the Estados Unidos, aka United States of America. You're our number one trading partner. Yeah, America and Mexico, we partners, bro. Very cool, very cool. So thanks for listening, guys. It's gratitude. And just FYI, back in the day, I went to school to be a radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I didn't have enough gratitude. If I would have just had more gratitude, then maybe that would enable me to become a radio DJ. But it didn't. It allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Subject to debate. Might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet. So it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, sun, stars, moon, cosmos, quasars. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. And it's like a ramble all day, but it won't. Let's get right into the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, recording artist SonZu Cosmic just dropped a new album. On the 31st of July, 2023, SonZu Cosmic dropped the album called Evolve Not Devolve. So if you want to hear SonZu Cosmic spit cosmic raps over fire beats, check out SonZu Cosmic, Evolve Not Devolve. I'll put the link below. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And as my mom used to always say, it's a hot one. It's a very hot. I am very sweaty. Right now, this moment in time, I am sweating so much. It seems like all summer, all I've been doing is sweating. I woke up in the morning, I'm sweating all day. I go to bed, I'm sweating. I'm just like crazy amounts of sweat. Just call me Sweat Captain. Call me Sweat Cortez. I don't know, I just be sweating all the time. But you know what I found out? This month, July, on planet Earth, is the hottest month it's been on planet Earth in 120,000 years. According to scientists or smart people, they're saying that planet Earth is the hottest it's been in July in 120,000 years. Not 10 years, not 50 years, not 80 years, not 200 years. 120,000 years, bro. 120,000 años. That is absolute madness. I don't get political. I don't follow politics. I don't know nothing about global warming. I ain't know nothing about that. But you know what? It's hot. I mean, maybe there's something to that because if this is the hottest month in 120,000 years, it's absolute madness. But anyways, this is not a complaint. This is not a whine. It's just a state of reality. In fact, sometimes I just like to bask and sweat and be a dirty, nasty guy, sweaty, dirty boy. So anyways, yeah, it's hot. So what? Who cares? It doesn't matter. Now it is time to podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to visit once again the secret world of the great game. Espionage, spy versus spy, cloak and dagger. This week I got to see the show Special Op Lioness Bruise like a fist. Great episode, cool episode. But before I get into that, a couple things. First of all, there won't be spoilers. And secondly, I do own some shares in the parent company of Paramount Plus. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know. Now that I told you that, let's get into Special Ops Lioness Bruise like a fist. This week, we went deeper down the espionage rabbit hole. We got to see what happens when someone goes deep cover. Witness the hit because I'm going deep cover. Boom, 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 boom. So anyways, we get to see Cruz go deeper into cover. And I've seen spies go deep cover many times over my journey of studying that world. I've listened to podcasts, read books, I watched shows, watched movies, and I've seen and heard about going deep cover quite a bit. But this particular week, it just dawned on me like how complex, how hard it must be to go deep cover, bro. Like seriously, it takes a certain type of individual to be able to walk that path, right? And I was watching the show, I'm like, man, it looks extremely difficult. And I've thought that over the years, but this time I was paying really close attention. It's like, yeah, bro, it looks so hard. And as I'm watching, I'm like, the captain could never do that. It's too difficult. It looks too hard. So Cruz has to be somebody she's not, right? I mean, she's got to live it. Hollywood actors, and actors in general, they do that. They become somebody else. And they live that person or that role, right? But after cut, they shut it off. Even if I'm doing this podcast, let's say the captain has to become someone else to do this podcast. Okay, I'll do it for like 20 minutes, and then I'm done, and I become regular Che Cortez, right? Right? Easy. But when you're going deep cover, you have to be that legend, persona, character, etc., 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 whatever you'll call it, 24/7. You have to live that life. You gotta live it, eat it, breathe it, bro. There's no deviation from it. Eyes are watching. People are listening. They're all over the place. You have to walk that path. And you get to see this in the show. In the show, you see Cruz doing this. And when you see Cruz, there's moments in the show where I can just tell by looking at her body language, in her face, that she's looking stressed. Because I imagine walking that path, walking that world, doing that occupation, living that life is extremely stressful. Like stressful, very stressful. So yeah, this show is good. It's showing that, right? And she has to be really, really good with her language and quick thinking. Things come up that weren't expected. They're asking her questions. Hey, what about these bruises, bro? These bruises, hey, they don't look right. They don't look like an accident. And she has to quickly come up with an explanation for those bruises, right? I mean, you got to quickly come up with something. You got to be a quick thinker, bro. So so far, this show is kind of just showing the deep cover aspect, which I always like shows like that. It's very interesting to see. And also they're trying to penetrate a terrorist organization, I believe, or get in contact with a terrorist. And from, like I said before, from what I've read, they are some very vicious, brutal human beings. If they discover you are not who you present yourself to be, if they think you were a certain way or one way, but actually you were not that way, and you are attempting to penetrate and gain access and bring them down, bro, there gonna be some serious penalties and consequences directed at that person trying to do that, right? Very dangerous world to play in. And you can see it in the show where she just looks like she's stressed. I just can't imagine in real life how that would feel. And there's a lot of people out there that work these jobs, live those lives, and are experiencing that pressure. Maybe you do that. I don't know who listens to these podcasts. Maybe you do that. Maybe we got some intelligence officers listening to this podcast. Very cool. And if you walk that path, much respect, because I know, looking from the outside, it looks very hard. And I imagine I can't even grasp how hard it actually really is. So ladies and gentlemen, Special Ops Lioness, if you want to see spy versus spy, if you want to see going deep cover, that's a very cool show to watch. But one other thing too, before I sign off, there's another side plot in the show. Joe was contacted by another spook, probably. I'm not even sure what he did. But he contacted us. He's like, Joe, I need to borrow some of your door kickers, bro. I need some of them door kickers. We got to snatch somebody, right? They got to snatch some guy, right? But they're not just snatching from a house or something, or a bus or a building. They're snatching while they're getting transported by law enforcement. I'm like, bro, you seriously doing this? I'm like, you guys gonna snatch someone while they're getting transported by law enforcement? You guys are madmen! But they do it. And they show how they approach trying to do that. And in the show, too, we're saying these kind of things happen quite frequently. You don't hear about it in the news. And now I was wondering, is there truth to that? Because a lot of times you watch these shows, they do pepper them with actual true things that really happen in the world. I noticed when I watch a lot of these spy shows, I'll end up Googling a lot of these things that they talk about, and then you'll come to find out after Googling these things, like, yeah, this is definitely true. Because it's kind of messed up, bro. Like, why would you do that? But it's all in the name of the great game. It's all in the name of intelligence. It's all in the name of making America great and safe. Now, sometimes in that world of espionage, there are some gray areas. There's some decisions made and things done that don't seem to be the best move or the most morally correct move. But sometimes moves got to be made on the game board to gain advantage that just aren't the most happy, shiny, positive things to do, but they are necessary in the game of strategy and war and the shadow wars and the great game to gain advantage and to keep this nation safe and protected. So, ladies and gentlemen, all those people out there in the world that live that life and do that, like I said last episode, much respect and gratitude. I appreciate you. Guys, keep me safe. So if you want to see an interesting, cool depiction of that world, a fresh take, in 2023, check out Special Ops Lioness. Very cool show. I like it. It's dope. Check it out. So yeah, that concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see. Failing in life is inevitable. Staying down is optional. Carrie Johnson. Until next time, this is Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.